Hello and welcome to NEWSPLUS. I am Ikioma Tuonwo. President Muhammadu Buhari arrived in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where he will be attending the Future Investment Initiative Institute conference. Senior Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, stated that the President arrived at about 11:50 p.m. He said the President was received at King Khalid International Airport by the Deputy Governor of Riyadh, Prince Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Abdulaziz. President Buhari, alongside other world leaders, will participate in the opening ceremony of the event on Tuesday and a three-day plenary session focused on the theme for the 5th edition of the summit, Invest in Humanity. And now President Muhammadu Buhari says the adoption of central bank digital currency, CBDC, can increase Nigeria's gross domestic product by $29 billion over the next 10 years. Buhari made this submission while performing the formal unveiling of Central Bank of Nigeria digital currency, Enaira, at the presidential villa in Abuja. He said that by the introduction of the Enaira, Nigeria had become the first country in Africa and one of the first in the world to introduce a digital currency to its citizens. The president said there were Nigeria-specific benefits of the digital currency that cut across different sectors of the economy. According to the president, a handful of countries, including China, Bahamas, and Cambodia, have already issued their own CBDCs.
Most advanced payment systems in the world, and certainly the best in Africa, which is befitting to the country as the largest economy in Africa. It is to your credit, Your Excellency, that Nigeria has the best payment system in Africa today. With growing interest in central bank digital currency, CBDC, around the world, the Central Bank of Nigeria commenced extensive study, consultations, identification of use cases, and the testing of the CBDC concept in a sandbox environment as far back as 2017. The objective of the research was to establish a compelling case for the adoption of a digital currency in Nigeria to enable a more prosperous and inclusive economy for all Nigerians. Following the completion of the preliminary work, our researchers and experts at the CBN were able to clearly establish that a digital currency will drive a more cashless, inclusive, and digital economy and will complement the gains of previous policy measures and a fast-growing payments platform in Nigeria. As such, the CBN decided to implement its own CBDC and to name the digital currency the Enaira. Your Excellency, the CBN believes that Enaira will make a significant positive difference to Nigeria and Nigerians, including A, supporting a resilient payment system ecosystem, B, encouraging rapid financial inclusion, C, reducing the cost of processing cash, D, enabling direct and transparent welfare interventions to our citizens, E, increasing revenue and tax collection, F, facilitating diaspora remittances into Nigeria, G, reducing the cost of financial transactions and improving the efficiency of payments in Nigeria. Therefore, the Enaira is Nigeria's CBDC, and it is digital equivalent of the physical Naira. As the tagline simply encapsulates, the Enaira is the same Naira with far more possibilities. The Enaira, like the physical Naira, is a legal tender in Nigeria and a liability of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Enaira and Naira will have the same value and will always be exchanged at 1 Naira to 1 Enaira. To de-risk the process, Your Excellency, the CBN has given careful consideration to the entire payments and financial architecture and has designed the Enaira to complement and strengthen these ecosystems and have implemented secure safeguards and policies to maintain the integrity of the financial system.
President Muhammadu Buhari has urged foreign envoys in Nigeria to be guided by diplomatic practices to ensure that their activities remain within the limits of their profession. The president stated this when he received letters of credence from the ambassadors of Japan, European Union, Burundi, Denmark, Finland, Ireland, Cape Verde, France, Qatar, and High Commissioners of Sierra Leone and Ghana at the State House Abuja on Monday. President Buhari told the envoys that they were resuming diplomatic responsibilities in Nigeria at a very interesting political period. The president also told the newly accredited envoys that he looked forward to a more robust relationship with each of their countries. Speaking on behalf of the ambassadors, the Japanese ambassador expressed their readiness to strengthen existing bilateral relations with Nigeria.
The nature of our politicking often gives the impression of very rancorous engagements. It is the nature of politics here. Besides, democracy and related democratic activities in the build-up to elections are necessarily rowdy and very argumentative, but very much within the limits of freedom of action that the art of democracy permits. As you settle down in the face of these developments, it is my hope that you will also be guided by diplomatic practices to ensure that your activities remain within the limits of your profession. Nigeria is open to more foreign direct investment in education, health, transportation, and agricultural sectors. It is my hope that we can all work together to expand our bilateral relations, especially in wider trading and cultural contacts. It is my hope that as you settle down to your responsibilities of promoting unity, amity, enhanced understanding, better economic opportunities, and the pursuit of peace between your respective countries and the federal government of Nigeria, you will make it a point of duty to appreciate our country's diversity as a source of not only pride but advantage, as we are definitely stronger together.
My counterparts are willing to strengthen the already existing cordial relation between Nigeria, Japan, and their respective countries and the institution hereby represented. It would also be an honor for us during our tour of duty to explore ways that we can work together to defeat the COVID-19.
President Muhammadu Buhari has sworn in 2 new commissioners of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, disclosed this in a statement. Adesina said the 2 commissioners, Professor Mohammed Sani Kala of Katsina State and Professor Kunle Cornelius Ajayi of Ekiti State, are part of the 6 cleared by the Senate in July this year. According to him, recall that the President Buhari has on September the 15th, 2021, sworn in 3 of the cleared national commissioners. Again, President Muhammadu Buhari says his regime plans to create up to 250 jobs from its effort to connect up to 5 million households to solar power. This is, as I said, growth figures were meaningless if they did not translate to good-paying jobs and improved standard of living for Nigerians. Buhari, who was represented by Vice President Yemi Osibajo, stated this in an address delivered virtually at the opening of the 27th Economic Summit, Team Securing Our Future, the Fierce Urgency of Now. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde, disclosed this in a statement. According to the President, to tackle existing problems and at the same time benefit from domestic and global trends, stakeholders, both in the public and private sectors, must take timely actions and immediate steps for Nigeria to achieve the desired national goals. Speaking on the Solar Power Naija project, the President said it is another project of the Economic Sustainability Plan that will lead to the creation of a large number of jobs. Now, the Kyrgyz State Commissioner for Environment, Chief Victor Omofaye, said that the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic had led to environmental challenges and unemployment in the country. Omofaye disclosed this at a one-day workshop organized by the Environment Media Correspondents Association of Nigeria in Abuja. According to him, the COVID-19 pandemic influenced significant global crises, and the greatest effects were being experienced by the poor, public and civil servants, including the private sector. Also speaking, Rufus Agbegbe, Director General of the National Biosafety Agency, said relevant stakeholders should be holistically involved in security, economy, science and technology activities to drive the new environmental sector.
Economic sectors. Social environmental crises such as the unemployment, closure of markets and factories, hunger, increasing poverty levels, social violence such as increased rate of rape cases, civil unrest, climate change, environmental degradation, increasing generation of waste and land grabs, among others. It is very pertinent to know that the environment is very patient and absorbs both natural and anthropogenic activities, but never forgives and gives back severely to the offender. Arguably, man through various anthropogenic activities has done more harm than good to the environment.
The activities of man will continue to tamper with the natural environment endowed us by God. And we as humans, God will equally give to us intellect, the knowledge and what it takes for us to come up with innovations that will ensure that the environment is safe for all of us. As writers, as men of pen, you must do what you need to do for the interests of your country. This administration has put in place what needs to be done to protect the citizen, to provide for the citizen, to expand the economy, to ensure farmers have better harvests. They also have income. They live normal lives like any of us. Let nobody mislead you. You as journalists, you know a lot, and you can seek information. Don't use your media as a source of misinformation and also causing panic in the society.
And now a team of female cohorts of Female Reporters Leadership Program of the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism have called on journalists to prioritize women in reporting stories. This formed the crux of the one-day capacity building training organized by Blessing Tuno, a 2021 cohort of the program at Viewer Television headquarters in Abuja. Viewer Television's Joy Malik reports.
The Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism set up the Report Women program, which seeks to intentionally increase the quality and quantity of reports about girls and women in the newsroom. These three journalists are part of numerous female reporters who have been trained to mainstream girls and women in news reporting by raising conversations and influence a change in the reality. The one-day capacity building training revolves around the themes, the journalist you ought to be, and the dynamics of reporting women. The training commenced with a pep talk from a conflict reporting journalist, Amaka Okoye, that fired up in the participants the need to be deliberate in being a journalist.
That's the conversation that, human resource persons, managers in newsrooms must have to have. If you identify that this is Dorcas' strength, put Dorcas in that place, because when Dorcas begins to blossom, it's not just Dorcas who's blossoming, it's VIEWERTV who's blossoming, because you're deliberate and intentional in putting Dorcas in that place where she will blossom.
Amaka also said, as a journalist, you should be able to take risks and enhance reputations. And as a conflict journalist, you should be able to represent the people. Delivering her talk on how to report women and girls, A multimedia journalist with the BBC, Doshima Abu, dissects various scenarios that consider positive, negative stories about women and girls. This, she says, will bring solutions to the problems of gender-based violence and inspire other young women to emulate the successes recorded by others.
In an era where everything you're doing can be displayed on social media and everybody can see what you're doing. Sure. So what are your dreams? What do you want to do? We are representing a voice. We think that women should be focused in our news reporting. And what the experiences of families like who have gone there. Okay, fine. Now, how do we tell this story? Who do we tell this story through?
The interactive nature of the workshop elicits questions from participants and insightful answers from the resource persons.
And do you have to study journalism to become a journalist? Or can you just go into journalism because you love it?
If you have the passion, it will be good, of course, that you get some training because that helps you.
Hey, I would have said, let's talk about, we're doing women, isn't it? How to report women. But I also want to encourage and motivate us.
Bearing in mind the gender makeup of the participants, the convener and co-host of the workshop, and Channel's TV correspondent points out that the training also aims at raising male heroes who stand for women.
We cannot achieve this with only women. We need male heroes. You know, these days we are telling women to raise their boys properly. You don't raise your boy believing that he can beat a woman, with all those feelings of entitlement and all of those things. So it starts with the men, actually. It is a campaign that cannot go anywhere if the men do not support.
The training rounds up with a resolution to ramp up stories about women and girls.
Is there something popping in your head and I'm not saying story idea, I'm just saying idea, just any issue that you think you guys can work on, that we can help you tidy up.
A presentation of a book on journalism by the team of co-hosts and photo sections with VIEWERTV management and staff. Jay Malik, reporting for Viewer Television.
And the Nigerian Labour Congress has cautioned the federal government against the use of force in enforcement of workers' vaccination. The president of the NLC, Ayuba Waba, stated this during a briefing on COVID-19 vaccination advisory for federal civil servants in Abuja. Recall that the Boss Mustafa-led Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 had announced that federal government workers without proof of COVID-19 vaccination or test results done within 72 hours will be denied access to their offices starting from December 1st, 2021. But the NLC president urged the federal government to employ the use of persuasion and conviction rather than force. Now, Francis Adebisi, the controller of Nigeria Correctional Service in Lagos State, says inmates involved in defilement of minors and other rape cases will not be considered for presidential pardon. The controller made this known in an interview with the newsmen on Tuesday in Lagos. He confirmed that the Presidential Advisory Committee on Prerogative of Mercy had started assessment of inmates in Lagos State for freedom under the Prerogative of Mercy of President Muhammadu Buhari. He, however, said that inmates involved in rape cases, especially the defilement of minors, will not benefit from such pardon. Hence, they were excluded from the assessment. Adebisi added that 300 inmates will be scrutinized in the state, while only 80 will be considered for pardon. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, Federal Ministry of Education and NGOs say they will work to ensure that Nigeria ranks among the highest literate nations in the world. Represented by Dr. Stephen Onyekwelu, the Spotlight Project Manager at UNESCO, Sanga said that UNESCO's supported the Federal Ministry of Education in developing the ministerial strategic plan that was currently running right from 2018 to 2022. Noah Emmanuel, the national president, said that the dialogue with NGOs with relevant partners was aimed at speeding the achievement of Education 2030 agenda. Professor Ekpama Ibor, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education, represented by Director Literacy and Development John Ede, said the Commission was committed to eradicating illiteracy in the country.
That is what UNESCO is advocating, even the UN system is advocating under the Spotlight Initiative. We want a Nigeria where all women are free from all forms of gender-based violence. And you saw what happened, the figure tripled during the COVID-19 because they were out of school. Now, if the Nigerian government can strengthen the issue of capacity building of teachers in ICT, using ICT to deliver lessons, when crises happen like this, you don't need to bother yourself. Anywhere you are, you have access to learning. I think that is what even the Ministerial Strategic Plan advocated, which UNESCO supported.
All partners that are here and all organizations that are here today, your presence and active involvement in this very important program have demonstrated your passion and steadfastness towards the achievement of SDGs 2030 agenda and further strengthen our collaboration as partners in the mass literacy project for Nigeria.
We are also implementing rural facilitator scheme, which is geared towards improving the number of adults and youth that are illiterate in the country. So with that RFS, we know that we will be able to achieve at least some of the SDG goals.
Now, academic activities at the Federal College of Education, Yola, has been put on hold following protests by students of the institution. The students were protesting poor living conditions on campus, to include the lack of water supply, before it degenerated into violent protest. The situation was aggregated when some of the rioting students were chased by armed military and security operatives. However, FCE authorities have admitted there was a breakdown at the college's main water source. They, however, denied that students were left without water supply. The registrar of the college, Ahmed Gidado, said the water scarcity was caused as a result of the breakdown of the main industrial borehole supplying the water needs of the entire school. He said the school management swung into action on hearing about the water challenge on Monday. Immediately asked the Works and Services Department to fix the problem, but only to wake up to see students rioting in the morning. Now, Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State has said that security challenges facing the state was exaggerated. He said Plateau State remained a very suitable business and investment hub because the government had vigorously addressed some of the major security challenges in the state by tackling their root causes. Lalong spoke at the panel discussion on securing our future and agenda for now, which held at the Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. A statement by his Director of Press and Public Affairs, Macham Makut, said on Tuesday. He said Lalong told the Economic Summit group that though the security challenge in Plateau State have not been completely eradicated, there is substantial peace which has been nurtured through the Peace Building Agency and Inter-Religious Council in the last 6 years. Now, the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, has expressed concern over the current situation in the state, which cases of kidnapping is on the increase in some local government areas. Hence, charges the council chairman and traditional rulers of the affected local government areas to be proactive in tackling the situation. The governor, who stated ahead of the council meeting with his cabinet and all chairmen of local governments in the state, also laments how some local government officials and traditional institutions connive with criminal elements to unleash their evil acts in their areas, saying his administration will deal decisively with anyone found wanting. Bauchi State correspondent Awal Hassan completes the story.
The security meeting, which comprised top government officials, including commissioners, as well as chairmen of all the 20 local governments, was sequel to the recent security situation in the state, which has become a source of concern to Governor Bala Mohammed. The governor says it is worrisome that some local governments in the state are currently experiencing cases of abduction.
Recently, we are experiencing a surge in terms of activities of some miscreants, terrorists, especially bandits that are going around some local governments in the state. They have affected a lot of people, and there have been some loss of lives and property. And of course, our security agencies have been doing very, very well. This local governments, Toro, Das, Al-Kalevi, Ningi local government and some extent, Ababa, and the local government.
The governor also says it is rather unfortunate that local government officials and traditional institutions connive with criminals to shortchange people.
And it is very unfortunate that the situation is deteriorated and everybody is looking up to the governor or the federal government. The community issue, community engagement is the most important thing in this. Most especially when there is a lot of incidents of violence between local government officials, even state ministry officials, and traditional institutions with the bandits to shortchange our people at the local level. This is unacceptable.
Governor Bala Mohammed also says the meeting will look into the issue of autonomy, where he challenges the local government chairman for poor handling of resources.
We are also going to discuss issues of your autonomy. It will appear you don't even have capacity for the autonomy we are giving you. You are only after the money, not the challenges. You can see how we are using very, very small resources to do a lot of things. We have to look at, in some cases, you say you have not been giving money, and not been giving. What the secret we are giving is what we have, and that's what we are giving to at the state level.
The governor therefore says, henceforth, he will not condone any attitude by any official or institution capable of jeopardizing the good effort of his administration. Awal Hassan, VIEWERTV News, Bauchi.
Pamela Coke-Hamilton, Executive Director of She Trades Initiative, said the International Trade Center will begin the second phase of its She Trade initiative in Nigeria after a successful first phase. She revealed this in Abuja during a visit to the treatment center of one of her She Trade beneficiaries, Bimcaf Palace Nigeria Limited. Newsmen reports that Bimcaf Palace, owned by Kafila Tayeni, is dedicated to agro-industry training women in similar fields and assisting them with necessary registrations. Coke-Hamilton said she was pleased with the successes in empowering women at the palace, adding that this indicated the initiative was working. In his reaction, Olusegun Awolowo, Director General of NEPC, said that despite the apparent success of Bimcaf Palace, they still face many challenges.
Of success. This is a success story, and we really want to showcase a success story like this across the globe. We have our She Trades Global in Dubai in February next year, and I think it's going to be important not just to showcase this organization, but the other organizations that she's helped, the other SMEs who she's helped to train, who she's helped to pass on knowledge to, because this is what's important. It's not just about giving to one. It's the pyramid approach. It is 1 feeds 2, 2 feeds 4, and then it extrapolates all the way across the community. And what she has done represents that. And we think that that is what makes it even more phenomenal. It's not just her success. It is the success of others around her, and it is the success of the community at large, and then Nigeria at large. And so if we can replicate this, I think it will be for us anyway, a great success story. And so we're looking to have a She Trades 2.0, which will increase our engagement at that level.
We've carried her along in our journey to reach this stage. I'm so proud of what she has achieved, and we're promising, of course, the federal government will continue to do more to encourage entrepreneurs, particularly women entrepreneurs.
Next phase now is how we can bring in more women, to support more women, to train more women, for them to be able to come in. We do this because Nigeria is large and we have so much to do from agriculture. So our next phase now is how we bring in more women into agricultural food processing, and for us to teach them what it takes to preserve especially the farm produce that go bad so easily. So that's our next phase right now. And I must confess, I can't overemphasize what She Trade has done for us and what NEPC has done for us. We'll remain tremendously grateful and will forever appreciate their efforts for us.
And that's it on NEWSPLUS. Please stay tuned for the rest of our programs.